Alrighty then. So we are going to continue with what we started yesterday regarding the calendars. And we found 5 books. I think we found 6 books. But today we'll go ahead and figure out what the overarching theme will be, a little bit deeper than just calendars, and then how we're going to break it down into 5 parts. But before we do that, we are going to check out the Itinerary library. Also working on getting a new website up. I did have the domain pagesdale.com for a couple of years and thought about getting it back, but decided to go for a new domain name and working on getting that platform. So hopefully we can bring more people into the library if they come through the website. We'll try that. So let's go ahead and share the screen. No, I didn't say what the new domain name is. I'll share that once it's ready. All right. So let's take a closer look at one of the other study rooms. So again, a study room is somewhere you can go if you'd like to get a little bit deeper in your building of listening proficiency while you're traveling. Okay. So it's all very interdisciplinary. So you have your travel interests, you have your book, and then you have your language proficiency. And this is for building English or any type of language proficiency, but my focus now is English, but English as a first language, right? So I'm not going through and starting from a particular proficiency level. This is pretty much building language proficiency in a language that you're already somewhat proficient in, but you just like to build on a specific skill. So you would determine your listening focus if you decided to do listening. First example here is focusing on listening skills to understand what clients need in order to help them feel heard while at cosmetology chair. So if you're a cosmetologist, if you're doing hair or makeup or anything like that, okay, you're working on your listening. And perhaps you go travel. I met someone who does hair in 2 different cities, and maybe you go on a hair tour. I don't know if that's a thing, but you go around, maybe you like drive around in a bus, you rent a hair bus or something. I don't know, work on you. I have no idea. But you can really just work it out however you'd like to. Or maybe even if you're still in a particular city, you don't have to be traveling, but maybe you're reading a book on learning how to do a different type of style, you know? Maybe you're trying to work on really doing haircuts. And so you work on listening to what people need so that you can give them the right haircut. I mean, it's just simple as that, right? It's as simple and as flexible as that. But this will give you a little bit of structure for that, right? And the structure is there to help you, but also to help your colleagues, help you along the way, and things like that. So after you determine your focus, you define what success would be for you. So maybe success for you would be the feedback that you get afterwards after you do the haircut. You know, you might ask someone to say, hey, do you like it? If they say yes, great. If they say no, that's okay. Maybe it's something a little bit more than that, okay, where they send you a reference. They say, oh my goodness, you know, I'm going to have my friends come next week. Maybe that's how you define success, okay? Or it could be more of an internal definition where you feel proud of the haircut. And it's just as simple as that. Okay. And then finally, still something very objective. You could compare it to a picture that you had in mind that you looked at before doing the haircut. Okay. So you define that. And then you demonstrate your proficiency. Okay. And that's when you're just practicing. That's when you're doing that thing. And you're trying to figure out, okay, let's take a week maybe All right. And see what the feedback is so far. And then you imagine how you would like to improve it. Okay, what's realistic? All right. And then you practice more. But this time you're doing things that might be a little bit uncomfortable and new to you based on where you're trying to grow. Okay. So maybe what you do is you take a look at the picture and you take 5 minutes of your consultation that you normally wouldn't do, and you just look at the picture to make sure that the two of you agree with the picture. I don't know, who knows? Okay. But you're trying different things that will help you be a better listener. Okay. That's it. And let's go back to the books. So we're going to archive.org. And focusing on, wait a second, I don't need to search. I just need to go to my favorites. And even better this time, I remember I made a list. Maybe I should pick an image. Let's do. Do I want to do this? Yeah, let's just do that. That's cool. Okay. Cool. So these are the 6 books that we have. I really want to take a closer look at this Eminem book. So we could do a general one. Calendars. Maybe we don't have to go any deeper than just calendars in general. Calendars and all the titles. Let's take a closer look at this one. It's a date. Calendars do more than just tell you what day it is. They let you know what season it is, which holidays are coming up, and how much time has passed and more. So, who invented the calendar? Well, there's more than one answer to that question. Many different cultures invented many different calendars. Can you imagine how confusing it was for people from other countries to agree what day it was? Learn about how calendars work or don't work. See how the sun and moon have helped people keep track of time. Take a look at red letter days and blue moons and find out how the particular calendar we use today was created. What are the red letter days? All right, special days in the 8-day Roman week were shown in red letters on the calendar. Some people think this is where we get our own term, red letter days. What do you think? This is interesting. How did this come about? M&Ms. Mm. Okay, this is a really good one. But we need to find an African calendar book. This is a book about the Ethiopian calendar. Hmm. Let's see if this has 13 months of sunshine. Okay, I think I should use this book. Now, yeah, is it available digitally? Yeah, I think I have. Do I have Kindle on the Kindle on my phone now? I think I do. Okay, so let me search for this book here. 13 Months of Sunshine. And I have it. Thank you to the generous team who gave their time and talents to make this book possible. 13 Months of Sunshine. Ethiopia is the only nation in East Africa with its own calendar. The calendar is 7 to 8 years behind the one used by most of the world. When most countries celebrated the year 2020, it was the year 2012 in Ethiopia. The Ethiopian calendar has 13 months. 12 of these months have 30 days. Meskerem, Tekevt, Hadar, Tas, I don't know, Tasas, Ter Yakatit, Megalit, Mayazya, Genbat, Sunye, Hamale, and Nahase. The last month, Barume, has just 5 or 6 days. That is why Ethiopia is called a nation with 13 months of sunshine. The new year starts on the first day of the month called Meskerem. In many countries, that is the middle of the ninth month on the calendar. In most countries, a day starts just after midnight. In Ethiopia, a day starts at dawn. The new year starts at dawn on the first day of the year. In Meskerem, the season changes. The countryside appears at its best. The rain stops pouring, fields are covered with yellow, red, and pink flowers. Cows graze in open fields, and shepherds play the flute under a tree. Children go from house to house and sing the New Year's song. People buy chickens, they cook a feast to celebrate the new year. The Ministry of Education hires new teachers, parents buy textbooks, pencils, and notebooks. Children are ready to return to school. The rainy season is over in Meskerem. A carpet of yellow daisies signals the beginning of the 13 months of sunshine. Right. We have about the story, about the author, about the illustrator, and about the editor. The author. Wardiku El Mulat joined the Ready Set Go Books team early in 2019, first as a translator and now as an author. He holds a PhD from University College Cork in Ireland, an MSc from Ghent University, Belgium, and a BSc from Asmara University of Etienne. Dr. Worku has published extensively professional articles on high-impact journals such as Malaria Journal, Environmental Monitoring and Assessment, Ecological Indicators, Bioresource Technology, and PLOS ONE. He also co-authored 3 books with the main theme of environmental conservation. Currently, he is working for Open Hearts Big Dreams Fund as Innovation Center lead in model projects being implemented in Ethiopia. He is also a research associate at Tree Foundation, which strives to save Ethiopian Orthodox Church forests. And the illustrator, Daniel Getahun, lives in Toronto, Canada. He received a diploma in graphic art from Addis Ababa School of Fine Arts and Design in 1980. He now focuses on oil painting and digital painting, which can be seen on his Facebook page. He can also be contacted by email. You know what? You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to end up with some geography practice. Because I know where Ethiopia is, I know where Eritrea is. But the other day, some country came up. I think it was Burundi or something. I don't remember, but we'll start doing that during these lives as well. Oh, getting better at making them more structured, right? You can find a little bit of a compromise, the flexibility in the structure. Anyway, so this book has got to be on here. And I mean, with this book, this is perfect. This is exactly what I was hoping for. I mean, I had in mind something a little bit more textbook-like, but I wanted a book that was specifically about the Ethiopian calendar, and that's what this is. So that's a win. And this is the page, the document that I typically use for all of the different workshops. I don't think I've made one for yeah. So let's go ahead and make a copy of this. Calendars. So here's the first book, 13 Months of Sunshine, Ethiopia's Unique Calendar in Amharic and English. Yeah, so the book was also in Amharic. I didn't read it because I don't know how. I'm just going to 13 Months of Sunshine. Okay. And then, yeah. So right. Yeah, so we didn't have it there. Tibaldo, the Holy Calendar, without stress. All right, so we had the Maya calendar already. We must use this one. And I didn't get the link here yet. But we have the book. I have the book. You can get it on your Kindle. I guess I could just do the Kindle link. See all formats. Can you just share this link? Will it take you directly to the Kindle version? Kindle edition. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So I'll use this link for. Oh, no, I put it in the wrong space. Goodbye. Hello. All right, and the next one is Maya calendar. And then the official M&M's brand history of the calendar, which is strange. The official M&M's brand history of the calendar. I feel like it took me forever to type that. Yeah, because it did. All right, and then calendrical calculations. Not really excited about that one. I think I'm gonna leave that one out. Calendar of the gods in China, and then I'm going to look for a Chinese calendar one. This is the. I'm confused about what this is. I think this is more Roman Gregorian, so this can be the representative of that. Yeah. Calendars. All right. Tibaldo and the hole in the. Let's see if I can find a YouTube video on this. Tibaldo. And the calendar. Alrighty. This one is ready. Oh, I guess I should have reposted the YouTube link. I guess I should, yeah. Yeah, the world of Tibaldo. Okay, I was about to say. All right, here we go. Thank you. Tibaldo Bondi and all of his relatives are fictional, as are the school of St. Joseph in the Corner and its principal teachers, students, and their families. Governor Domitiani? Domitiani? Is it Domitiani or is it Domitiani? And his officers, Signora Guardabassi and El Torrentino, are fictional. All other characters mentioned by name are historical persons, but some of their adventures in the story are fictional. Pope Gregory, for example, did not travel to. Okay, all right, okay. Well, near the end of his life, nor did he modify his proclamation of the new calendar. The real Professor Turisanus lived in the 14th, not the 16th century, but his character has not been much changed by this transposition in time. In the exposition of science and history, our aim was to achieve accuracy without technical difficulty. The appendix, More and Better Astronomy, is not essential to the story of Tebaldo, as are the astronomy and history of the main text, but we hope that it will be read for its scientific interest. Thank you. Okay. The world of Tebaldo. There are three kinds of worlds: the great world, the middle sized world, and many little worlds. The great world is a world of nature consisting of the stars, the sun, the planets, the moon, the earth, and all that the earth contains. The middle sized world is a world of human society with its nations, governments, armies, religions, factories, farms, schools, families, and everything else formed by human beings. The many little worlds are individual human beings. Each man, woman, and child is a little world, but of course, each is shaped and influenced by the middle sized world of human society, and often in strange and surprising ways. Likewise, each is shaped and influenced by the great world of nature, sometimes in ways that no one could predict. This story is about a particular little world, a boy named Tebaldo Bondi, who was born in Bologna, in the north of Italy, on October 10th, 1570. The exact date of his birth is very important for our story, since it was responsible for some strange things that happened to him. Had he been born on October 1st, 1570, or October 20th, 1570, his adventures would have been very different. The strangest of Tebaldo's adventures occurred in 1582, which is the year in which Pope Gregory XIII declared that the calendar had to be changed. In typical adventure stories, soldiers fought enemies, or knights slay dragons, or explorers overcome hardships, or astronomers face dangers in space. This adventure story, however, is different. In it, a small boy fights a battle against the calendar. Why does he do that? How can anyone do it? Many things have to be explained in order to show how Tebaldo could take up a battle against a calendar. The family into which Tebaldo was born was large and active. His parents, Lorenzo and Teresa Bondi, had 8 children, 3 girls and 5 boys. Tebaldo was their youngest child. Since the parents were poor, their house was small and therefore crowded and busy even after Tebaldo was sent away to school and came home early on Sunday and holidays. And when the girls married and moved to homes of their own, it still was crowded, especially after the oldest daughter, Anna Maria, became a widow and had to move back into her parents' house with her 2 small sons. Tebaldo was particularly fond of Anna Maria and her sons, and he was proud to be an uncle. Greatly admired by his nephews, though he was only slightly older than they. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we are going to Tebaldo and the hole in the calendar. I'm very, very happy. And now I can make a note about the fact that this is very much fiction. I can get dressed every day. So this one is the fourth, and I just need to get the fifth one. Ah, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to have the Chinese calendar. Oh, I wonder if I should swap out the M&M one. I don't know. You see, this is why I need people in the live. Is anybody here? Not yet. All right, so I want to read this book so badly. Seems so cute. Seven Secrets from Hindu Calendar Art. Well, I feel like I can't leave out the Chinese calendar. I have to put one. All right, so this is Ganesha's Secret, Narayan's Secret, Ardhanari's Secret, Shiva's Secret, Devi's, Vishnu, Brahma's. Okay. The images in the book have been picked up from the street from vendors who sit outside temples and sell their wares to pilgrims. Art historians have explained the origin of these images, how artists like Raja Ravi Varma and the printing technology of the 19th century ensured that these illustrations reached almost every Hindu household across India, and how they came to dominate the visualization of the common man's faith. In recent times, foreign tourists have been captivated by their supernatural content and gaudy colors. Fashion gurus have used them on the catwalk, incorporating them on apparel and accessories to get the attention of consumers, collectors, and the media. But few have stopped to think about them. Where does this imagery come from? What are they saying? And in ignorance, often innocence, sacred art has become fantasy, used by some in ways that others consider disrespectful. Attempts to explain the fantastic imagery are usually either defensive, apologetic, or chauvinistic, as one tries to legitimize the content using logic or comparisons with other religions. Faith can never be scientific, and words like sin and prophet do not help in understanding the worldview of the Hindus. To best appreciate Hindu art, one has to enter a new paradigm, a new way of explaining things. One has to explore new notions of perfection and possibility, quite different from the more familiar and more popular Greek, biblical, or Oriental worldviews. This book is an attempt to introduce the reader to this new paradigm. The book consciously uses black and white renditions of the art so that the colors do not distract the reader from the content. Great attention has not been paid to the quality of the images, as the point of the book is not the aesthetics of the image, but the translation of this unique visual vocabulary created by our ancestors. I would have loved to list down and acknowledge each and every artist and printer. However, tracing them is virtually impossible since the images are not only mass-produced, but also constantly reproduced with minor changes by different artists. Often, the same image is brought out by different printers. Finally, like all things Hindu, the explanations in this book are just one of the many ways in which this art can be looked at. Read this book, keeping in mind, within infinite myths lie the eternal truth. Who sees it all? Varuna has but 1,000 eyes, Indra 100, and I only 2. Lovely. All right, cool. Well, this one's going in. 7 Secrets of the Hindu Calendar Art. So cool. All right, so I do want to find a book on the Chinese calendar. Just seems a requirement. Okay. Maybe if I find Asian calendars. Glimpses of Glory, Reflections for All Seasons, Imitation of Buddha. Wow. That's, the Book of Calendars, Religious Holidays and Calendars. Okay, we're seeing slightly different results from yesterday. Okay, but wisdom from Chinese literary and Buddhist classics. Not exactly what we're looking for. Through the year with Watchmen, calendrical calculations, one that we had. Mesoamerican civilization. Mesoamerican. World. Religions. The writing revolution, cuneiform to the internet. Oh. Sea Rover, Silver, and Samurai, Maritime East Asia, and Global History. Tell me this title has calendar in it somewhere. No. I need to save this with some, or share this with some people. Neither here nor there. And the space between an early modern East Asia, Michael labored in boys and escorts, representation and performance among Koshinga's Japanese pirate ancestors. Peter D. Shapinsky, friend or foe, intercultural diplomacy between Momoyama, Japan, and the Spanish Philippines in the 1590s. Birgit Tremel Werner maps calendars and diagrams, space and time in 17th century maritime East Asia. Hey. All right, tell me that's a chapter. Oh, that's a good book. It is saved. Dreams in Chinese Periphery. Victoria Rico, Zheng Qinggong's regime. Anna Busquets' Shaman Scandal in the Family, Dutch Eavesdropping on the Zheng Lineage, Leonard Blues, Bridging the Bipolar, Zheng Jing's Decade on Taiwan. This book seems... It's kind of borrow unavailable. How can I download the book I want to read? Is only available for 1 hour long, but I can't read the whole thing. I'm curious, why would the book be here but not available? No suitable files to display here. In collections, Internet Archive of books for people with disabilities, uploaded by... Okay. Is it processing or something? I mean, it's still good to know it exists, so thank you. Oh my gosh. There was another book I clicked on. Wasn't there? No. Oh man, there was another book. Multicultural Holidays. Share our celebration. I need to save this one. This is borrow available. Oh yeah. Student contracts. Yeah, that's the thing about culminating, you know? For me, culminating is kind of like the wrapping up, like the ending, like the grand finale. But that's not really what it means. Yeah, here it is. It does. It says that here, in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, or yeah, to bring to a triumphant conclusion. Yeah, I had mentioned to someone that there was no like. Anyway, as in finishing. Where are these definitions coming from that are on Google? These Google definitions need some help. It said it's from Oxford Languages. Google's English dictionary is provided by Oxford Languages. Oxford Languages is the world's leading dictionary publisher with over 150 years of experience creating and reading authoritative dictionaries globally in more than 50 languages. Authoritative. I mean, I'm not coming for Oxford. I mean, I saw that you guys, you're older than what feels like a dynasty or something. It's like, what? It was older than some ancient. Where was I looking at? It was a list of unbelievable truths. And anyway, Oxford's English dictionaries are widely regarded as the world's most authoritative sources on current English. This dictionary is regularly updated with evidence from one of the world's largest lexical research programs, and features 350,000 words and phrases. The coverage span. Now, my question is, has Oxford hired Google? And Google is actually just doing this for itself because this coverage spans from English language from across the English-speaking world, British English, American English, only two of the many individual varieties of the language that share common lexical core, but develop their own unique vocabularies in addition to British and American English or dictionary documents. Many further varieties, including forms for the master. Yeah, how do you remember we are committed to the evidence-based approach to creating dictionaries in order to provide the most accurate picture of a language. All right, I'm sorry, but if you have culminating synonymous with climactic, then that's not right. Words are always changing, and I am in no way the authority here, but I'm a little concerned about that dictionary. The definition. Actually, a few definitions that I've seen come up. Authoritative, I think, is accurate. Authoritative. Culminating. I'm just trying to make sure I have words correctly in my brain. I get it. I understand now. Let's see, how are you? this happens so often, okay, where I say something and I'm starting to realize that I am misunderstood. It's not that I'm saying the wrong thing, but that doesn't mean that I'm not misunderstood. Because I told someone there was no culminating event. And they looked at me like, so and so was a culminating event. And I was like, I mean, there was no ending event. And I looked it up on my phone and it was like, oh, like climactic, but it also means like ending. When did this book come out? 1994. All right, so that's the end of today. Didn't find a book for the Chinese lunar calendar, which is unbelievable. Lunar calendars? Let's do lunar calendars. Moon Gardener's Almanac. That's interesting. I like that. Borrow unavailable. It's okay. Time to learn about weeks and months. It's a whole book on it? I mean, this is a good book. I like it. It's a good transition book. You know, it's a good introduction. It's a good one. I like that one. It's good. It's good. We know what he cares, but Among the Iranians, A Guide to Iran's Culture and Customs. time, a kid's book of experiments with time? Experiments with time? Come on. How do humans perceive time? What are the 3 different kinds of days? What is a shadow clock, and how does it work? Using easy to find materials, you can conduct these fun and simple experiments to learn about the science behind time and how it's been measured throughout history. Come on. Surprising science experiments. In search of small gods. Okay, I'm just going through saving books at this point. Affirmations for the inner child. It's nice. Ariel's machine. Alright, I am so surprised that there's not a single book on the Chinese lunar calendar. Niceties of Sanatana Masa Dharma. Okay, anyway. That's it. Until next reach out. And until then, keep it loud.